I'm going to be honest with you guys. I actually took a while before recording this episode. I've actually had this episode ready to record for a while, and I think I'm finally ready to fully articulate exactly what I want to say, and this one's really a big deal. If Penticton bans smartphones at school until the age of 16, grades go up, bullying drops, and childhood comes back. Sounds bold? Well, it's already working elsewhere. Let me show you exactly how. By the end of this, I'm going to talk about why a ban of smartphones at school, with flip phone exceptions, makes kids happier, classrooms calmer, and seniors proud. I'm going to talk about the data, the local realities, what other cities in North America have done, and some of those results in a simple plan that Penticton could pass this year, and how we could actually be a shining light to other cities and bring childhood back. Look, nobody here is anti-tech. Guys, I'm like sitting here like fully teched out if you only knew. This to me is about timing and place, and school should be for learning and real friendship, not for social media algorithms. Now, other regions have tried phone-free days, right? So it is something, right? And they saw a focus return, grades rise, and cyber drama crash. In 30 seconds, I'm going to show you how we do it here in Penticton specifically without chaos. Hey guys, if you don't know me, my name is Jordan West. I'm a former BC Ambulance Paramedic turned business builder. I live in Penticton, the best city in the world, but I'm obsessed with making it better. Let's go. We're going to talk about evidence pack number 1. What? So what? And mental health. Over the last decade, youth anxiety, depression, and late night doom scrolling has risen with 24/7 smartphones and social media. Here is what I really believe, that we need to remove smartphones at school and remove a huge daily stressor. Sleep improves, comparison drops, and kids re-enter life between bells. Let me tell you guys, I have seen this in my real life. Now, when people come over, and because you're probably thinking, people who are watching this probably ain't the kids watching this, but if you are, cool, that's great. Good for you. It's probably more like the adults that are watching this being like, okay, what sort of rant does Jordan have to say this time? Let me explain when this idea really hit home for me. Because I will tell you, I am absolutely addicted to my smartphone. I am addicted to it. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well. Let me tell you, when I grew up, I'm almost 40 right now. When I grew up, we did not have smartphones, right? And probably lots of you guys didn't either. But we did have flip phones at the time. And it's crazy because they were not the same kind of distraction that they are now. Even text messaging, which was not the same kind of distraction that it was now. Comparatively, kids' brains are not ready for constant attention. We see this massive rise in ADHD. We see this massive rise in all sorts of different behavioral issues. And you think to yourself, is the constant screen glaring and the constant notifications, can we even handle that? Oh, and should we even handle that? Is that the life that we want, right? I will tell you, number one, here's a big question. But the big but in this, isn't this just correlational? Right? Longitudinal efforts and school district bans elsewhere have seen measurable improvements in mood, focus, and behavior. If you guys get a chance, read the book, The Anxious Generation. In it, Jonathan Haidt talks extensively about this idea, and it's something that I am absolutely obsessed with. Now, let's talk about what some other schools have done, right? Schools that banned phones report less distraction and higher test scores after an adjustment period. Now, why an adjustment period? Because let me tell you, getting off of a drug is difficult, and smartphones are drugs. I have no doubt that in 10 years, people often ask, when you see somebody smoking, right? My kids will see people smoking and they're like, do people still smoke? I'm like, man, back in the day, everyone used to smoke. It was like a normal thing. Like my grandpa smoked basically his entire life. They didn't know any better. And so oftentimes friends and I and in the business world, we'll be like, what is the smoking of today? The smoking of today are smartphones. The amount of time that we spend on smartphones is not Good for us. We all understand that. But the problem is, right, everyone thinks that it's someone else's job to do, and somehow we think that it's going to be a safety issue, right? And I think that's something that we'll talk about here in a little bit as well, right? Now, here's the great thing. I'm going very off script again today, as you guys know, if you guys watch, and I know lots of you guys do. There's lots of my videos have hit 10,000 views in Penticton here. Guys, there's only like 37,000 of us. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope that this is helping make our city better. That really is, at the end of the day, that's really what I'm trying to do. And what I'm trying to do is bring these ideas to the forefront that we can potentially test to make our city better. And being a completely smartphone free school environment would be wild, right? It would be wild. It isn't something necessarily that we've seen done anywhere close. So what exactly is it, right? And we know that most of the schools do ban smartphones during school, right? And again, that's like a fairly new thing. It's wild to think back over these last 10 years, what we have done to our society in this. We didn't know. So I just want to say, like, the empathy of, like, we did not know. We didn't know what this would do to our brains or our kids' brains. Just a quick aside. Something that I have done is we have a charging station in our house. And one of the things that I have above it is phones deserve a rest so that we can too. Something like that, something super cheesy. But really, I love going and putting my phone in, it's like in this cupboard that has all the charging. And then that way I have no notifications on, and it is phenomenal what it does for my brain, especially when people come over. I really, really like it. So anyway, let's get back to this here. Teachers get back clean minutes every single class, right? It compounds to weeks of recovered teaching time per year when we take smartphones away overall. And I'm talking about overall, like I'm saying, like on all school grounds not having smartphones. Here's the but, right? But kids will sneak them, sure. An initial friction happens, but then norms lock in. By, I'm going to say, month 2, enforcement gets a lot easier and outcomes stick. And it then doesn't become the norm. Just remember, like 20 years ago, phones were not the norm in school, right? Doesn't mean that they have to be now. Let's talk about social skills and bullying. So, a phone-free campus reports fewer cyberbullying incidents during school hours, more eye contact, and more play. Speaking of some of the big issues of our day, right? Eye contact, social skills. I have hired, I don't even know how many hundreds of people, and I will tell you, there is a certain generation that I am going to call out. They just happen to be, Zebra is part of it, Gen Z, that are really hard to hire. I'm going to be honest with you guys, like really, really, I don't want to say unhireable, but like whatever's right before unhireable, that is that generation because of the social skill aspect. And it's killing their generation, right? Like I think a lot of people out there have called them the lost generation, and I totally understand why, right? The yard goes from, right, outside goes from silent scrolling to fun again, right? To people actually playing with each other, playing sports, not being distracted. That's the crazy thing. When we put down our phones, we actually are able to connect with people. That is the wild thing. Now you're going to say, but what about emergencies? Well, guys, office phones still exist. We should allow basic flip phones. Now, here's one wild idea I have for City Hall. And I know you guys at the city listen to this or watch these, so here you go. By the way, can I just say, they're doing a great job. I've connected with lots of the people at the city, and you guys are crushing. Specifically, you guys at the communications department. So you better put this one out there for me, okay? Here's my wild idea that Penticton, the city, invests that if somebody needs a flip phone for their child, and because they have a smartphone at home, they're like, well, it's free. I'm just going to give it to my kid. I'm going to give them my old phone all the time, right? Which I get. Just so you guys know, I 100% get. I have 4 kids, right? And I have kids that want devices all the time. I get it. I 100% get it. But here's the crazy, crazy idea that I have for us. That Penticton actually decides to invest in our kids, right? And if somebody wants to get a flip phone, right? And again, flip phones are more expensive, which is just wild to me. I find that actually like one of the more hilarious things out there right now, that flip phones are more expensive. But if somebody wants a flip phone, that we actually help them with getting a flip phone. Yes, crazy idea. I understand, a crazy idea, but that the city actually pays for the flip phone. It's something that we could totally implement. I know what you guys are thinking. Oh man, that sounds difficult. Yes, I get it. Everything's difficult, but we could do it if it is for the sake of having a childhood. I remember, by the way, because I grew up on the coast, I remember I worked at a camp and half of the kids came from Surrey, half the kids came from Summerland. And I will tell you, the kids that were from this area, Summerland and Penticton, the kids that were from this area were markedly better kids. Wish I could say a different word, but they were markedly better kids, more present. There was something about it. And I wonder if it was something about this like free sort of childhood and this trusting childhood where they really, and this was like lots and lots of kids, where they really understood, where the parents really understood what raising confident kids was like. And I think that we have that opportunity to do that again in Penticton, right? And to raise incredible kids where people see them and they're like, oh my gosh, you must be Southern Okanagan kids because it seems like you were raised like that. Anyway, lots of asides today. But let me talk about some comparable cities and provinces. So provinces and districts in Canada, Europe, and the US are moving to limit or ban smartphones during the school day. Penticton is not crazy. If anything, we are late. We can borrow playbooks, clear rules, staff alignment, and parent packs. To me, a lot of people will look at certain issues, right? And they'll be like, oh man, these people are dumb or something, right? I never think that. What I think is, oh, this is not a smarts issue, right? This is an issue that people are not educated. They don't understand. Not everyone reads a book every single week. That just happens to be one of the things that I love to do. I love to read. But not everyone is able to do that. Not everybody learns in the same sort of way. So we're late. We can borrow the playbooks, right? We can have clear rules, staff alignment, and parent packs. But BC policy varies by district. Great. Penticton can lead it locally with a community level pact backed by district policy and city support. And I friggin' love it. I love the idea of our kids actually being present, of there not being smartphones, of there not being on social media. I mean, there's a huge push in multiple places. Australia has already passed a law that under 16 it is illegal to be on social media, and I completely agree. There is, besides you guys watching this, there are not a lot of great things about chronic social media use. Like, let's be totally honest. There's not a lot of great things about it. I would much rather have a real town square than the digital town square, to be totally honest. But there are some good things about it for adults when we actually understand how to use it, and it's our choice as adults as well. So let's do the Penticton reality check. Penticton's big issues, safety, cohesion, and stronger schools are solved with a lot of small levers, not one silver bullet. A calmer school day helps everything downstream. I will tell you that. City leadership already coordinates on community health, safety, and connectivity. A school day phone policy aligns with that balanced city vision and community well-being. But isn't the school board not the city, right? Yes. So we move together. Trustees, principals, PACs, council, RCMP, school liaison, one plan and one message in my mind. So here's the Penticton plan for you guys and you teachers out there. Hopefully you love this and you share this with everyone around there. Let's talk about a bell-to-bell ban. And I'm talking K to 10 and extend to 11 and 12 if we can at the district's discretion. So devices stay in lockers or sealed pouches. Now, my recommendation is in sealed pouches if need be. My actual recommendation is get rid of the smartphones. Your kids do not need smartphones. They do not need smartphones. But it just takes one crazy person to actually say that they don't need them. A flip phone is fine. And I am not judging you, parents. Parents, if you go crazy and you start like, oh, Jordan's just judging me. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is that we need a wake-up call. We need a wake-up call. I've seen what the previous generation has been like in this addicted smartphone generation. It's not good. It's not like no one can tell me that it's good or that we're happy or that we think that the previous generation, is doing well, the ones that have come through school. And I understand COVID and blah, blah, blah. Yes, but smartphones are one of the things that we can control. Now, here is the flip phone option. District partners with carriers to offer low-cost basic phones for families that want reachability. No social apps, no browser, nothing like that. You can text message and you can get a hold of your kids. If you are worried about that, just FYI, we were all fine without phones and the world has never been safer, right? That is the reality. But I understand that millennial parents, because I am one of them, are a little on edge, right? We have a lot of information at our fingertips and we think that everyone's out to get our kids. So I understand. That totally makes sense. Another one too is a parent hotline education night, right? When and how to contact your child without undermining the policy. And that's a really, really big deal. Now, here's a big deal. It's the parent pact. City plus district plus pact. Cosign. Wait until being a senior, grade 11 and 12, such an American thing. The community pledge. Provide scripts for parents. All their friends are on it. In Penticton, most aren't during school. And that's a really big thing, right? Making sure that we're all aligned. Because I will tell you, this is the policy for our house. I know it's crazy. Oh, Jordan, you're so crazy. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm a psycho. Please clip that, somebody. And then teacher and staff alignment, right? Clear, consistent enforcement. The staff model limited personal phone use around students. That is the big part of this, right? Is that us as parents need to also get in on that. Just so you know, this might be the last parenting one that I do. But I wanted to bring this one to attention because I actually think it's really that important. And then provide de-escalation scripts and a simple 1, 2, 3 consequence ladder for stuff like this happening. Also a yard retrieval kit. So a small budget for making outside even better. I like that idea, right? Let's make our students happy again playing outside without phones. They don't need phones before and after school. They don't need phones during school, right? The world used to be better. To the folks who remember when the playground was loud with laughter, you're not wrong. We can bring that back. Not by going backwards, but by setting healthy boundaries. Tech has a place, but so does childhood, right? And so does just being present with each other. A phone-free school day is the gentlest, highest ROI boundary that we can draw. That's it, guys. Here's what we get. Quieter minds, friendlier halls, better grades, fewer fights, and a city that chooses its kids over algorithms. Council, the mayor, they can endorse this policy. Trustees can pass it, and principals can roll it out with a 60-day runway. So if you want Penticton to lead on this, drop an X phone in the comments and share this with a parent or teacher in your life. Let me know what you think. If you want more videos like this, if you're like, stop making videos like this. It's fine either way. I read the comments. Some of you are mean. Some of you are nice. I'm not offended. I don't get my value from you or your comments, but I really appreciate all of you guys. Thanks so much.